These settings may vary. These settings also may not be perfect, but people keep asking for my settings, and these are what they are. One of the more common questions that people have been asking me recently is, what are my in-game settings for my game and how am I able to get so many frames in it? Today in this video, I'm going to keep it very simple. I'm going to be going over my in-game settings in hopes that it helps you guys with your game for better stability, more frames, and better quality when you guys are going to larger conflict zones. If this video was helpful, please be sure to leave it with a like. And if you want to check out more content from my channel, consider subscribing. It's absolutely free, and I have lots of guides on my channel to help you in your progression. Now, bear in mind, I am on PC, so if you are on console, some of this may help. Not all of it will. I will be going into more nitty-gritty settings after we go over in-game, so if you are on PC, feel free to stick around for a couple more suggestions at the end. First and foremost, before I go over the settings, I just want to make a quick suggestion. Some people ask me how I have the health bar above my head. Some people ask me how I have target health bars over players. If you go into the target system, you'll be able to adjust certain things based on how you want things to be targeted as well as selected. When you go to the character settings, you'll also notice things under showing your character, such as your health and things like that, as well as other players, friendly players, miscellaneous characters, hostile guild characters, and sometimes toggling these settings may also make it helpful for when you're in those large scale suggestions. I do highly recommend taking a look over this to find some adjustments that are good for you. But let's get on to the graphics. So I like to play in borderless on PC. However, I do recommend playing in full screen. It will make your game a higher priority for your computer and giving it more of your computer's resources for its performance. The reason I play in borderless is because I make content. I also stream, so sometimes I want to tab out of my monitor to go look at other things. If you never tab out of the game, I would highly recommend being in full screen. Your resolution, obviously, make that match your monitor if you want. I like to play in 1920 by 1080. My frame rate limit, I set it to no limit. There is a reason as to why. If I go and turn my FPS counter on at the top left-hand side, you'll notice I'm getting about 60 frames in this busy town. There are times where if you lock a frame rate in, it will consume more of your computer's resources to lock that target, meaning I have genuinely lost frames setting my game at 144 frames per second. I have jumped and gained more frames by setting it to no limit. I don't know if this was intentional, but this is something that I have noticed for myself and through testing it. Moving on, I have vertical sync off. My game resolution, I have it set to quality. You can set it to performance or ultra performance. I have mine set to quality. The specs in my computer allow me to have good performance while maintaining some nice looks of the game. So that one will be either or for you. I have the NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency on plus boost. At the top right-hand side, you'll notice that this reduces system latency, which increases your PC's responsiveness. So if you want your computer and game to respond faster to the key inputs that you're doing, this is important to have on. It is very effective in PvP scenarios. And then scrolling down, you'll notice I have the other two settings off. If you have a 40 series graphics card, some of these settings may not apply to you. I have a 30s series card. I'm using a 3080 in my computer. But let's go to my overall quality settings. So anti-aliasing, I have it on high. Ambient occlusion, I have it on low. Screen space reflections, I have on low. View distance, I have on high. Character count, I have on high. Sometimes I will set it to epic depending on the situation. Most of the times I have it set to high. This is for how many players are rendered in the scenarios that you are going to. If your computer is having a hard time at bosses, especially peaceful ones, and you want to get more performance out of your computer, I would recommend even setting it to low. But if you're going to PvP situations, probably more important for you to have it on high or epic. Post-processing, I have it on high. Character quality, I also have it on high. Shading quality is on high. Shadow quality is on high. But if you're wanting to get better performance, shadows, honestly, they're not super needed. needed. You could set them to medium, you could set it to low and set it to off. This also will help give you more performance in your game. Sometimes shadows alone can take up a lot of resource space. Distance shadow quality, I have it obviously on low. Texture quality, I like to have it on high. Anisotropic filtering, I hope I said this right, I have it on X16. The effect quality I have on high. The vegetation quality I have on high. So just like the shadows effect quality, you could have this on medium or low for better performance. Same with the vegetation quality as well. You could have it on medium or low. Character quality as well. Anything where you notice quality. Quality is always a good one to lower. If you have an older card, if you have a setup that isn't a little bit more state of the art, if you're playing on a laptop, these are really good ones to target to help give your game better performance. Scrolling down here, depth of field, I have it off. Motion blur, I cannot stand motion blur. It gives me motion sickness. I have that off. And then all of these 4 settings I have turned off. So the level of detail I have set on low. Character shadow quality, I have it set on medium. So again, you can have this set on low for more performance. Lighting quality, terrain quality, I have these on medium. Again, adjustable, make them lower, better performance. Volumetric clouds I have on low. Volumetric fog I have on low. I think the ambient for these settings is a resource hog. I don't see a point in it if you're trying to target performance. Shader preloading, I have it set to epic. If you look at the settings, it says enable background rendering in advance, greatly reducing frame drops that occur when drawing new objects. This option is not affected by basic settings. When you change the settings though, you will need to restart the game. I also have optimized large scale combat on and use DirectX 12 on. If you are on console, you may not have some of these settings, but if you have some of the ones that I've mentioned and you're looking to optimize your game's performance, hopefully some of these details help you. Moving forward, we're going to talk about some more nitty-gritty PC stuff. So let's go ahead and minimize our game. Please ignore my standard Windows wallpaper. Normally I'll have an animated wallpaper running in the back, but I will turn it off to save PC resources. So let's go ahead and look up the NVIDIA control panel. PC players, absolutely make sure that your graphics card is up to date with its drivers. Open your GeForce Experience dashboard. If you go to drivers, make sure your drivers are up to date. I shouldn't have to say this, but you'd be shocked how many people don't know to update this stuff. If that sounds like you need to update your drivers. When you update them, your monitor may flicker a little bit. Let it finish doing its thing. When your drivers are up to date, this will also help. Very important. Also helps prevent crashing too. But if we go into the NVIDIA control panel settings, more specifically under the manage 3D settings, I have mine set for universal settings, but a few that I feel like are worth mentioning specifically. Make sure you have your GPU set for rendering. My power management mode I have on for max performance. So it utilizes as much of my GPU as it can to make sure the performance of my game is being upheld. And again, if you have your game in full screen mode, the best of both worlds here. Refresh rate to the highest available, and my shader cache size is set to 10 gigabytes. Here are my other settings in case it matters. I will go over the full list for people who are wanting that. So I'll go down this list and feel free to change it as we go if you see anything needed. Image scaling is off. Ambient occlusion is off. Anisotropic filtering off. Anti-aliasing off. The other 3 for gamma correction and mode is off. The next 2 are grayed out for me. None off. Background application max frame rate is off. CUDA GPUs, all CUDA system fallback policy, default, DSR factors off. Next one for smoothness is grayed out. It's also off. Low latency mode, max frame rate, multi-frame sample are off. Low latency one is not a bad one to have on, but we have it set in our game settings. You are able to set it to this if you see fit. The OpenGL GDI compatibility, I have set to prefer performance. Once again, selecting our graphics card, preferred max performance for the power management, highest refresh rate available, shader cache size 10 gigs. Texture quality I have set to off. Texture filtering I have set to allow. Texture filtering quality I have set to quality. Texture filtering for trilinear optimization I have set to on. Threaded optimization is off. Triple buffering is off. Vertical sync is off. Virtual reality set to 1. The one below that is set to off. And then the Vulkan OpenGL present method is set to auto. Now, please bear in mind, these settings may vary. These settings also may not be perfect, but people keep asking for my settings, and these are what they are. If you guys have any suggestions on how to improve the overall refresh rate and performance of people's games, I highly encourage you guys to put some more suggestions in the comments section down below, and hopefully this can not only turn into a helpful, informative video, but also a good thread to help everyone. I know that console sometimes has some issues, so if you guys have some suggestions with that for things that are helping you, please put them in the comment section down below. But I do hope that this does help you guys. If this video did help you, if you did get some more performance from some of these settings, please consider sharing the video with other friends of yours who are also playing. If it did help you, make sure to like the video. And if you want to check out more content from my channel, then definitely consider subscribing. I've been posting content on Throne and Liberty all the time, so if you're interested in checking that out, definitely check out my YouTube channel for more. I do stream all the time, and the links to my other content will be posted in the description down below. But as far as that goes, thank you very much for watching the video. If you made it all the way through, you are awesome. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.